Hi. So today what I thought I'd do is that I put together a list of things that magicians do that they think is normal. These are things that magicians very commonly partake in that are anything but normal. This is an interactive video. What that means is that I want you to put what magicians do in the comment section below. No, I'm not just farming for engagement. I was really racking my brain as to thinking, what is it that we do that we think is normal but is anything but? And I've made a small list of things. The first one is holding things awkwardly. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a magician hold a dollar bill and they fold it in a very specific way and then they decide to hold it like this. What is this? Could somebody explain to me in what world is this a normal way of holding a dollar bill? And then they'll transfer it to the other hand like this and place it underneath something. What is this thalidomide grip? But you'll see a bunch of magicians just hold things like this. Oh, I'm just gonna place it in my other hand and I'm gonna hold it in this way. What person whose parents aren't related has ever held anything in this way? You know who holds things like this? Kids that are about to drop a turd in your hand. I remember specifically my younger brother, who is very much autistic, holding something in his hand, and I go, hey, give me what you're holding. And he proceeds to drop a piece of dog turd right in my open hand. The next one on the list is this. Have you ever seen a magician pretend to draw something in the back of a card and do it like this? And then you turn the card over and there's a whole Mona Lisa drawn on it. Every time they do this, it looks exactly like this. I'm just gonna draw something real quick on the back of this card right here. I've drawn a house. Whoa, you managed to draw all that in a fraction of a second? What are you, a Rain Man? Are you fucking retarded? This is another one of my favorite tropes. Oh, sir, I just have a stack of blank business cards here. Can you draw something on one of these? Great, wonderful. Are you done? I'm gonna put this back in my wallet for safekeeping. Great. Think of your object. You'd be astonished to see how many magicians take blank cards out of their pocket only to place the card in the wallet that they just randomly take out for safekeeping. Why don't you just hold the cards in the wallet? And they'll swear up and down that they've been performing for 25 years. Is your audience comprised of retards? The next one is being predatory towards kids. Another thing that only makes sense to magicians is insisting for a participant to examine what would otherwise be a normal object. For example, scene. For this, we need a quarter. I have one here. Could you please take a look at this quarter and inspect it, making sure that it is in fact just a quarter? You look like a mentally ill child rapist. You drop the quarter on the table. Everybody knows it's a quarter. You don't need to go and hand it off to them so they could look at it with calipers. For the next one, let me ask you a simple question. Do you know how many these are? If you said 4, congratulations. You're not retarded. However, we as magicians think that lay people are retarded because instead of doing this, most of us do this. So I'm gonna use 4 cards here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards. You could see 4. You don't need to count 4. You know, you have eyeballs. Get my brand new book, The Art of the Squeal, available now, full of routines, moves, tricks, tutorials. It's a fun one. You should pick it up. Some autobiographical bits in there. Why not just check it out in the link in the description section below. You could also join the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,400 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be. There's a 7-day free trial, so you have no excuse not to check it out. Another one that doesn't really make much sense is our insistence to show a card instead of like this, which is a normal way of showing a card. We have to do it like this. Yes, I get it. You have to do that for the method, but nobody in the planet does this apart from magicians. Coin purses. The next one here on my list is rubbing hands together for no reason. This is a weird magician trope when they're waiting for a participant to do something, like you give them a deck or, God forbid, a quarter to examine, and they're just there like this, rubbing their hands together like they're Birdman. You look like a mentally ill virgin. Being unnecessarily aggressive when placing things in people's hands. I can't tell you how often I see a magician taking something like a quarter that was just recently examined thoroughly and placing it in a participant's hand, only to crush their hand inward and then turn their whole wrist as if they're doing a jujitsu hold. Yeah, I know sometimes you want to obscure what you're putting in their hand, but find a way that doesn't make it look like you're trying to train on how to defend yourself from a would-be attacker. So those are some things that magicians do that they think make sense, but don't really make sense. As I mentioned before, leave what you have to say about this in the comment section below. Some advice at the end of the video. Oh boy, I guess coffee. I've been making coffee a little bit weird as of late. I've been taking instant coffee, and you get it. You put a little bit of vanilla syrup. I use sugar-free, and then you put a little bit of water, and then you get that little blender, the sort of blender, and then it turns it into a lot of foam. And then you put ice in it, and you fill it up with milk. I personally like to use Fairlife milk because it's protein dense, but you could use whole milk. If you're out here using oat milk, I don't even want to tell you what I want to do to your insides, but it's a nice way of partaking in coffee that's a little bit different. A little bit reminiscent of the popular Dalgona coffee that was a craze on TikTok a couple years ago, but it's really good. This isn't that. I just blended it with the milk and the instant coffee directly. It doesn't take much to please me.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.